How's it going, PhonLab? It's Root Junkie here, and in today's video we're going to be talking about VMware or virtual machines, and specifically for a couple of use cases that are really good for phone repair techs, okay? So the value of using a virtual machine is quite big when it comes to security on your shop PC, okay? So I'm going to just go ahead and do this. So first thing you're going to need to do is download the VMware workstation for Windows 10 64-bit, which is this one right here. I've already downloaded it, okay? The second thing we're going to need to do, and I'll give you links to this so no worries, is you need to come down here and you need to download this Creating Windows 10 Installation Media tool right here, okay? I've downloaded both those files already, and so we're going to go ahead and we're going to go work with them. So my files are here. And actually, you know what? I'm not going to use them here. That's where they're downloaded. We're going to use them here. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So we have the creation tool and we have the VM player. And these are really nice. And we can utilize these both without paying anything for them, which is even better, right? So first thing we're going to do is we're going to install VM player. And I'm going to kind of get into what the reason we're going to use this is here as we go. But we'll go ahead and install it. So Workstation Player 16 from VMware. Really the whole purpose of having something like this is so that you can have a virtual Windows 10 machine running, and then you can run software on that virtual machine that maybe you don't know about or you're not sure what it is, or maybe it could be some kind of hacking software but you just don't know, but you want to try it, and this will protect your workshop PC from getting a virus or somebody reverse shelling you or something like that happening and hacking into your system, because if they hack into your virtual machine, who cares, because it's isolated. And you can even delete it and then create a new one. And voila, if they hacked in, they're gone. It's very, very nice. So we're going to go ahead and do the setup. Accept. And we're going to say add VM workstation console tools into system path. Sure. Yeah, why not? Say next. I don't want to join the program. I'll check for updates, that's fine. Sure, why not? And install. Okay, so this is going to go ahead and get the VMware workstation set up on your computer. While that's actually running, well, actually it probably won't let us. Let's do one at a time. I'm going to say the other one takes a little bit too, because we got to go ahead and we have to create a Windows 10 ISO image so that we can load it into the VMware station and boot up a separate Windows 10 operating system. So I'm not sure if what you guys know about virtual machines, but they're really awesome and very powerful. So you have your normal Windows 10, which is what we're on right now, your main workshop PC, but you can also boot up this virtual machine with inside the other machine. So you have a machine in a machine, right? Or an OS in an OS. So it's pretty awesome, and everything's separated and isolated, and there's security between them. So if somebody's in your virtual machine, they're not in your actual machine, right? That's the beauty of it. So in case you get hacked, then you can easily deal with it, and you've kept your main workshop PC secure. So we're going to say finish. I must restart the system. Configuration change take effect. Restart now. I would definitely do this for this video. I'm not going to do it right this minute, just so we don't have to cut the video. Okay, so make sure you do the restart. All right, so next we're going to do the creation tool. Okay, and this is what's going to create our Windows 10 ISO image, which we got from the site, which I showed you earlier. And basically what I do with this is more or less go with the default options, but I'm just going to go through the process so you guys can see what it looks like when you create a Windows 10 ISO image. Okay, it's it's not hard, really simple. And actually I already have one created, but I'm just going to show you the tool just because it's nice and simple to use. It's really not that big a deal. Okay, so yeah, agree. It's going to go ahead and connect and see kind of what your system looks like and give you some recommendations of what you should install. Okay, so here's the important option. We need to go ahead and hit create installation media, because right here we want the ISO file. That's what we're looking for. So hit next. yeah, just go with recommended is probably the best thing to do. But you want to obviously be on Windows 10, 64-bit for your computer. Most computers now are all 64-bit. And hit next. Again, here we're going to do ISO file. Hit next. Here's where you're going to place your file. I've created in Documents a folder called VMware Images, because if you want to have other ISO images, you can also save them here, and you just have a place you can like load and launch them from. As you can see, I've already created one, right? But basically from here, all you're going to do is you're going to hit save, and then it's going to download it and do it, right? It's a 4 gig file, depending on your internet speeds, depending on all the time it's going to take. When it's done, you're just going to click finish, and it's going to be over. So I'm going to hit cancel, and actually I'm going to close this out. Because I already created one and I don't want to do it again. Okay, so you can see my ISO image is right here, and I have a Windows 10 ISO image. And actually, I think I want to rename that. Might as well just do Windows 10. 10. There we go. So that way I know what it is and we're all good. All right, see, it's a big file, 4.5 gigs. All right, cool. So from here, we're going to actually launch the VMware player and do the initial setup to get our virtual machine working. But first, I'm going to do a quick reboot. I'll be right back. Reboot complete. Excellent. So we're good to go here. I'm going to go ahead and go down to Start, go to VMware Play or VM Player, whatever you want to call it. We're going to launch this guy up. So it says use VMware Station Free, non-commercial use. That's you. We're just doing it. That way we don't have to buy a license. This is just for testing things, so that's how we're going to run it. So we're going to say continue and hit finish, and now you have the non-commercial use version of VMware. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is we want to create a virtual machine. So we're going to click on this guy and install disk. So we're not using that, we're using this one, ISO image. We're going to browse. Again, like for what I told you before where I put mine. Actually, you know what? This is funny. So I actually had some other ones in here. So right there you can see them. Virtual printer, some other things. Oh, that's just for printing. Okay. So I'm going to go to Documents. I put mine in VMware Images, and there it is. So we're going to load that, and it says I will install operating system later. No, we're not doing that. So that's what we're doing. So hit next. Yeah, sure. That's what I'm going to call it. You could even rename it like test environment or something different. This is fine for me. So hit next. Okay, so this is really important. I do recommend doing the 60 gigs of space and multi files for splitting the virtual disk. Just makes more sense. So that's highly recommended. You could do more if you're just using it as a test environment like I'm going to just run a program that I'm unfamiliar with, just to be safe, things like that. Maybe have somebody remote in, do a repair. You can use this environment. It keeps things safe. So that's probably enough for what we're doing, just enough to install a couple applications and run the virtual machine. So I'm going to hit next. Okay, so here's really interesting. This is where hardware customization comes in. After creation, yeah, we'll do that. But first I want to customize this. So this computer, you know, it's got a little bit more memory in it than what they're giving me here, virtual pages, virtual machine. So I want to go up on this to like 4. You know, we also got processors. You know, I've got quite a few more cores. So different things you can do. So I'm probably going to go 4 cores on this bad boy, or processors. So that looks pretty good to me. You know, you can adjust more of this if you want to adjust it, but I think that's good. So we're going to say close. Okay, now I've got it set up how I want. We're going to go finish. You can always adjust this customization there later too, which you'll see here in a second. But then it says power on machine once it's done, right? So now what's going to happen is it's going to take that creation disk, it's going to go ahead and load it, and it's going to go with my customization, my hardware customization, and it's going to start up our virtual machine of Windows 10 right here. So I'm not sure. I think you're going to have to go through the initial setup wizard on the machine. This is pretty normal. Yeah, it looks like you are. VM tools, yeah, we're going to do that as well. So it looks like it's trying to work through this process here. So yeah, go ahead and let that go through. And it says click virtual screen, keyboard, blah, blah, blah. I finished installing. Looks like that's the case. Okay, so you can see my virtual machine has booted up. The first thing we gotta do is just go through the initial setup, just like you would on any brand new install. So repair your computer. Note, we're gonna do install now. Now the trick with this is that, you know, Windows 10 generally requires a license, but what most people don't know is you can actually use it unlicensed. So you just come down here and you say, I don't have a product key. So, and then you can just pick your version. I'm just going to stick with home, just to make it real simple. And hit next, because you can install any of them. Accept the terms. Next. Here we go. So there's your 60 gigs of unallocated space, right? This is not your main hard drive. This is your virtual machine hard drive. So we're going to say next. And it's going to go ahead and copy all the files to that 60 gig partition that we have in VMware and go ahead and set up Windows for you. This process is going to take a bit, right? Always, if you've ever installed Windows before, you know, depending on your computer speed and everything else, this can take quite a while to run. So we're going to let this install of Windows go and we'll come back to it. Okay, so that's a good sign. It looks like this virtual Windows installation is now restarting itself because the machine has been installed and everything is installed on the correct partition, and VMware should be able to boot this operating system right up into Windows 10. Again, initial configuration. I don't know if you've ever done Windows 10 initial configuration before. It takes a while. So we're going to have to go through all the steps, all the setup, wait, watch the little lights spin. Once again, just be real critical that you don't have a license. I mean, unless you want to purchase one for Windows 10. If you're running a virtual machine, I absolutely wouldn't purchase a license just because it's unnecessary for what we're doing on the machine. You're going to see a little warning once you get it fully booted that it is an unlicensed version of Windows 10, but it's fine. You can totally use it without any issues unlicensed. So especially for a virtual machine, because we're going to mainly use it as a test environment, and it's really, really nice to be able to do this without having to pay for it. So we're going to let this process go through here. Just a moment. It's my favorite thing to see. Wait a little longer. All right, let's go through this setup. Shouldn't take too long. So we're going to go to United States, hit yes, and we'll get this figured out. So keyboard, say yes. Skip adding additional keyboards. You know, honestly, I hate the fact that this thing takes forever to go through these setup processes. It's straight up annoying, to be honest with you. Yeah, just it takes forever. There's got to be an easier way to do this than having to have it watch it spin forever. It drives me absolutely bonkers. So we get to watch the spinning glass here while we go through this setup process. Now there's a trick I'm going to show you here that is really nice, and I prefer using it. So this computer I have right now has an Ethernet cable hooked to it, and this is what I'm going to do here. So there used to be an option down here to use offline account, right down here by these in the setup. They don't have that anymore, and they pretty much force you to either put in your phone or your email. So if you don't want to do that, and you know you just don't want to do this process, right? There is a way around it. So what you're going to do is you're going to either turn off your Wi-Fi router if you're hooked to Wi-Fi, or unplug your Ethernet cable. So I'm going to unplug my cable, and I'm going to click back. And what should happen is now I should be able to put in a name. So I'm going to go ahead and put in a name, a username, or an admin name for this computer. So we're just going to call it Root Junkie, and then we're going to click next. We're going to put in a password, something you can remember. Something pretty common to you is probably your best option, something that you use maybe on other machines, maybe the exact same one as this machine, you know, whatever. Say next, confirm that one. Hit next, and now you have an account set up, and we can finish this. So I always turn basically all this stuff off. This is unnecessary tracking that's not needed for a test environment. Yeah, and hit accept. That's all the like, we're going to track you, we're going to make your experience amazing, just allow us to track everything we do. I'm going to say not now. And hopefully this setup will finish up and we'll have a working, booted Windows 10 virtual machine on our computer. It says hi. Generally that's a good sign. Like I said, all this garbage of waiting is just dumb. It's annoying. I know there's a better way. Hey, it finished. Hooray! Virtual machine. Yay! Alright, so maybe later. We're not going to mess with the Edge browser stupidness. Alright, so now you have a virtual machine that is functioning. And we can actually blow it up here. I'm pretty sure there's ways to like get the screen to stretch too. No, that's full screen. Let's go back out of that. To get this thing to set up wider, maybe it's in display settings. Let's see. Yeah, so let's do, say keep. Alright, and actually, you know what, it does have the bars on the, that's alright, it's good enough for now. Well, no, you know what? I don't like it because you got to scroll up and down still. So we're gonna make it slightly smaller. Still got to scroll. Revert back. And what about like this? Oh, it's still. What am I doing? Terrible setup. Let's get to something that's got a smaller ratio. Okay. Yeah, that's fine for now. I just wanted it a little bit bigger on my screen. You could keep messing with that if you wanted. I mean, there's probably other ways to do it too, but there you go. So we've got it. Virtual machine done, right? Okay. So what I'm going to do now is just show you guys how to kill this thing. So we're going to say power off as guest, and boom, virtual machine is turned off. Okay. So now anytime you want to run the virtual machine, it's very simple. Just go into your workstation, and what you're going to see here is a list of machines if you have multiple ones. Here's the one we're going to run. You're just going to click that, and then you're going to say play virtual machine, and it will boot up said virtual machine. And once it comes up, you'll be in Windows 10, and you can utilize everything in here. You can open the browser, install applications, do everything you want to do, test out something that you want to test, just to be sure that it's safe to utilize it, and so on. So I got to log in. All right, there we go. I mean, just like any Windows computer that you run, this works exactly the same. Like I said, I may have to do some adjusting with the screen. I don't know what happened. It reverted back. Let's see. Yeah, it reverted back to that one. I don't like that one. Yes, keep changes. There we go. There we go. Cool. So we are good to rock and roll. There's a lot you can do with virtual machine, especially with this dash up here along the top, and making sure things are connected, what peripherals are working with it, so on and so forth. There's quite a bit you can do with it. But I just want to show you to you. There you go. That's going to be it, guys, for this video. That's how to utilize these virtual machines on your Windows computer. And this is a very, very nice thing to have, like I said, for a test environment. And I highly, highly recommend having one of these set up just in case you need it. It's a great tool to have. That's going to wrap it up for this video, guys. Stay tuned. We'll probably do another one on leveraging some of the tools within virtual machine. But I know this has been a long video, and I wanted to just get you wrapped up. So we'll catch you in the next video. Root Junkie out.